Jenny, Michael is over at my house right now. Good evening, Linda. Is that so? I haven't heard anything about that. He's talking about you made a nasty pasta yesterday. What is he talking about? What? He said it was delicious. I think he's just trying to be nice. Are you sure you can cook? Michael said it was too nasty. He doesn't want to eat there, so he came over. I can't believe you make him eat nasty foods. I see. I could eat it just fine though. Maybe it might not have suited Michael's taste. What are you talking about? What he eats is very important, you know? Right. You're just not good at cooking. I've heard him complain about the same thing. This is the first time I've heard about this. I had no idea he felt that way. You're a housewife. You should cook to satisfy your husband. Yeah, I know. Maybe you should take a class or use an app to help you with recipes. Why don't you learn to cook on your own? Okay. Anyways, Michael said he's going to eat here. He'd rather eat the food I made. I understand. Thank you. Hey, Jenny, Michael is here again. What? Again? Well, he said you use a different laundry detergent. Huh? That's the reason he's there? That's just ridiculous. What's ridiculous about it? You know he has sensitive skin, right? I didn't know it was that bad. He said he smelled something funny when he changed his clothes and it made him nauseous. He came to tell me that he wants me to do his laundry. I would have changed the detergent if he told me. Why does he always run to you? Michael's a nice boy, so he probably couldn't tell you. He's not a child. I wouldn't force Michael to use things he doesn't like. Why did you suddenly change the laundry detergent? What? Is there a need to tell you every time? I like the smell of it, so I used it. You really are a very inconsiderate wife, aren't you? That kind of sloppiness is what sticks out at Michael. Poor Michael. Huh? Michael has always been a very sensitive boy. So whenever I changed something, I'd always check with him. Check with him? Yes, like I changed the ketchup. I changed the toilet paper to single rolls. I changed the body soap. Oh, really? Even down to such small details? Yes, I told you he is sensitive. I'm not as careless as you. Michael doesn't have to feel surprised and uncomfortable. Maybe it was you who made him develop that habit. And I'm not careless either. You have to treat him with care. I don't feel comfortable leaving him in the hands of a stranger. Don't call me a stranger. Anyway, I'll talk to Michael once he comes home. Oh, Michael says he won't go home today. What? You mean he's staying over? Yes. Wouldn't it be exhausting to be around someone as careless as you? I told you I'm not careless. I'm working full time and still doing house chores. I don't have enough time. Don't blame it on work. You yourself is the problem. If you think it's because of your job, why don't you quit? What? I can't do that. That's what it is. I hope you think about all of this for Michael's sake. Good evening, Glenda. Can I ask, is Michael there with you? Yes, he's here. He just had dinner and now he's relaxing. I see. Then I didn't have to rush home. I texted him. You did? I told him I had to work overtime and I'll be home late. I finished up as fast as I could, went grocery shopping, and when I came home, he wasn't home. It would have been nice if he had informed me in advance that he was going there. I still had some work to do. What? Are you saying it's not okay for him to be here? No, it's not that. I just came home after a long day. I just wish he had given me a heads up. What's wrong with that? It's your fault for working so late, right? That's true, but as long as I'm working, there's nothing I can do about it. I have responsibilities too. You don't really care about your husband, huh? No, it's not that. Michael works for an elite company. I don't get why do you have to work so hard? I wish you take care of Michael more. He works so hard. Huh? If you take good care of him, he wouldn't have the need to come to my house. Yes, I'm sorry. Jenny, I have to tell you something. What is it? I'm thinking of having a Christmas party at our house. Really? I feel like it's the first time since we got married. Yes, it is. You've been calling it off lately because of all the sickness going around. I see. I'm thinking of inviting my sister and her family. That would be nice. I haven't seen them in a while. I'd love to see them. So, I've been thinking of making a nice meal. Could you help me? Of course. Then can I ask you to do shopping when you come to my house? Yeah, sure. I want to get those cakes that's been going viral on social media. What? It's like $30 a piece. There will be a lot of people, so we need to buy Christmas decorations too. Come on. I want to go all out for Christmas, you know? I want my sister to try those cakes too. Well, yes, but if it's within your budget, I'll buy it for you. Please do. I really want to try it. Okay, it'll get crowded, so we'll have to get there early. Then I'll make a reservation for you. Please do. And since it's Christmas, we'll need roast chicken, right? Can you get some too? I also want to have some pasta and some salad. So can you order some of that too? That's a lot of food, isn't it? You have a car, so it should be fine. I don't think I can go to the store by myself. No problem. I'll have Michael help me. What? Michael is going to stay here the day before. Really? He said he'll come the night before so he could have some good sleep. Your son is so careless. Huh? No, never mind. But I think it's too much to do by myself. That's the least you could do. What? You always put work first. You should at least try your best for your family on Christmas, right? I don't care how much of a stranger you are. At least act like a family member. Please don't call me a stranger. I'm part of the family too. Don't get too sassy. I understand. I'll do my best to go around by myself. It will be around noon, but please wait for me. Okay, I'll wait for you. Thank you. Jenny! What are you doing? Why are you not here yet? My sisters got here before you. How long are you going to make us wait? I'm sorry. It's crowded everywhere. It's taking a while. I left first thing in the morning, though. You're totally useless. How can you say I'm useless when I'm the one who has to do all the shopping? It was a lot of work to do all this by myself. That's normal as a wife. You always act like it's someone else's problem. That's not true. I'm sure I'll get there soon. Please enjoy chatting with everyone for a while. Do you think you're the one who's in charge? You must have misunderstood something. Excuse me? It's not like you're the one in charge or anything. Why should we bend over backward for someone like you who's always just on the sidelines? Oh, excuse me. I got carried away with the Christmas spirit. I spoke a bit too assertively. I apologize. Instead of wasting time with misunderstandings, just hurry up and bring the food. You're not being helpful in times of need. It's frustrating. Glenda, you don't have to say all that. It's Christmas. Every popular restaurants are busy. I have to wait for a while. It's crowded everywhere. Geez, you're so naggy. Stop complaining and just bring us the food. I'm sorry. I'll hurry. Jenny, text me back. Why did you leave right before we were going to eat the cake? We were all looking forward to having a great Christmas party and you've just ruined it. Seriously? Do you know what you just did? What are you talking about? Stop acting like you don't know anything. What was that about? What? Are you mad about the cake? I can't give you the fancy one. If you're hungry, go eat some dog food. You know what? I bought that fancy cake, remember? I went out of my way to make the reservation and even went out there early to be in line. I was all excited, thinking everyone would be happy, but dog food? Seriously? What were you thinking? Oh, really? Be grateful you even got food. Besides, I bought everything with my own money. You have no idea how much it cost me. I haven't even got paid for it. It's unacceptable. I mean, you've been working late every day, right? You probably get paid enough, so this is nothing. Huh? It's Christmas, so stop complaining so much. Who do you think you are to even have some fancy cake? A useless wife like you, leeching off others, deserves nothing but dog food. What? You're nothing but a stranger, not even related by blood. You're no better than a dog. Are you being serious? Why would you think I'm joking? Well, if you're going to say that, then fine. I'd divorce Michael without hesitation. What? Why is divorce suddenly on the table? Don't you think you're overreacting? No, I've been thinking about it for a while. What? What's going to happen to Michael? He's mostly staying with you, right? What's the point of being married if he's never home? When I messaged him about the cake incident earlier, you know what he said? Isn't that obvious? Don't think a useless stranger like you can eat expensive cake? That's my boy. I guess he thinks of you the same way I do. I told him there's no point in being married like this anymore and suggested divorce. He told me to do whatever I want. So that means he wants a divorce too, right? I see. I guess you don't have a choice. Seems like you lack the awareness of being a proper wife, huh? Well, that's what I was hoping for, though. I see. So that's how it is. Your family is quite something. You all are terrible. I've had enough. I'm glad I could finally divorce him. Oh, aren't you straightforward? Well, say what you want. After all, you're just a stranger who will never be a part of our family, right? I'll pack my bags and leave. Sure, go ahead and do that. Don't worry about Michael. He'll be fine as long as he got me. Good. I'll send you the divorce papers. Tell Michael to sign it so we can finalize it. I'll take care of it. I'll make sure they're filed. Jenny, pick up the phone. Can you at least text me back? What is it? I'm working. Jenny, where do you live now? Why do I have to tell you? You're a stranger. You don't have to be so harsh. I have better things to do. What do you want? Wait a moment. Actually, Michael has been behind on his rent. It's for last month's rent. When I checked, it seems he won't be able to pay this month's either. I figured. I've been the one who's been paying it. Why? I thought he was the one paying for it. You're his mother and you don't know anything about it? Michael is out of work. He's been unemployed for a year already. What? Unemployed? So I've been covering not only the rent but also all the living expenses. I thought it was outrageous to kick me out. But I was fed up too, so I decided to go through with the divorce. What do you mean he's not working? He was working for an elite company, but he complained too much about how he doesn't get paid enough. He doesn't like his boss and his coworkers are useless. After all the complaining, he decided to quit without even discussing it with me. Basically, He couldn't keep up with the demands of that tough job market. Oh no, he's a hard worker. Didn't you find it strange that he was always at your house? What? Michael was hanging out there during the day every day. Normally, he would still be at work till the evening. You didn't find it strange that he would go over to your house during the day? Well, that's true. That's right. So I had to work late every day. He did some part-time jobs and went to an employment service centers, but nothing lasted. And what do you think happened next? I don't know. He said, I'm working anyway, so there's no need for him to work. I really thought he was a jerk. He's the husband and he doesn't do anything. But you would say terrible things to me. That's when I started thinking about divorcing him. Michael told me you have your own business. Is it true? Yes, it was a hobby, but then I started making money off of it, so I decided to make it a business. I didn't know that. That's why I've been working so late. I've been working so hard. And your son is always at home being lazy. Spent the whole year being a bum, just eating snacks and watch movies all day. I see. Despite that, he would go to your place and complain about me. You two are really assholes. Assholes? What a terrible thing to say. He's unemployed. There's no way he can pay the rent. Well, then pay for it. You have your own business. I'm sure you have money. Why would I do that? We are strangers, remember? I'm no better than a dog, right? That's a figure of speech. Please forget it. How can I forget? After all the horrible things you said, there's no reason for me to pay the rent anymore. You two were married, so why don't you help him out? We barely spend time together and he's always with you. Is that how a married couple should be? I'm just a stranger to him. Don't say that. Why don't you just get back together? Have you lost your mind? You can still get back together. Then you can pay for the rent. I bet Michael can't live without you. How convenient. I'm never going to get back with that bum, and I won't pay for his rent either. Why would I even do that? We're divorced. He's a stranger. I'll tell you again, you two are strangers to me. Please don't depend on me. Please, Jenny. If you're so worried, why don't you tell him to live with you? He doesn't have to stay in that apartment. You have space for him. I can't. I'm living on a pension. I can't afford to take care of him. I can't pay for the rent too. So if you get back together and pay the rent, we won't have any problems. It's fine, right? Fine? What the hell do you think I am? I told you, I'm a stranger. If you want to ask for someone's help, ask your relatives. I can't. That's too embarrassing. I think it's more embarrassing to ask a stranger like me. You're his ex-wife. I could care less. Why don't you ask your son to get a job instead? He's been unemployed and playing around for a year now. Unless you change your son, you'll have a hard time for the rest of your life. This is no longer my concern. Goodbye. Jenny, wait. Are you really not going to help us? Are you just going to give up on us like this? Absolutely. I'll be the stranger you wanted me to be. Don't ever try to reach out again. Oh no! What am I supposed to do? After that, my ex-mother-in-law had no choice but to start working part-time. However, she was disliked by everyone around her. She had a hard time keeping one job for a long time. Michael, on the other hand, being unemployed for a year made it hard for him to find a job. I heard they're always fighting each other. About me, I bought myself a small space and been trying to work hard every day. I want to work hard to create designs that satisfy my clients even more than now.
Hey, subcontractor. How does it feel for you to take orders from me, who's younger than you? Hello, how are you? Mr. Adams, what do you want? You asked for my contact information, and I thought it was urgent. What do you need? Just answer the question. You're in your late 30s by the look of it, right? I'm 35, so I'm in my mid-30s. That's pretty much the late 30s. You'll be 40 if you round up. When you put it that way, sure. So, what does it matter? You're suddenly interested in my age? What is it? I'm 28. Huh? I see. Do you understand? Sorry, I don't understand. You can only react like an AI? I'm 28 and you're 35. But I have a higher social status than you. You have to take orders from me. How does that feel? I wouldn't be able to stand it. What are you talking about? As common sense, I try not to be rude within the bounds of propriety. What's wrong with that? Don't you have any pride? Excuse me? I couldn't take it. I wouldn't want a life like yours. What? What do you mean? What do you need from me? You want to be like me, right? Huh? I'm young. I work for a good company. I'm not like you. I guess you could say we live in different worlds. By the way, Emily, the receptionist, likes me. Do you mean Miss Johnson? That's right. Well, she's gonna marry me. Soon to be Mrs. Adams. That's unlikely. Mr. Lowe's, do you understand your position? It's Loath. It doesn't matter. It's kind of the same thing. No, because that's not my name. You're such a detail-oriented guy. You just have to do what I tell you to do. Because you're a subcontractor. What? Subcontractor? You say business partner like it's a big deal. In short, you're just a subcontractor. If you don't get the job from my company, your company probably couldn't even keep it going. Mr. Adams, you must be mistaken. The previous rep was also named Lowe or something like that. I feel sorry for that guy too. He's even older than you, right? It's too bad he's not as good as me at that age. What are you talking about? My predecessor's name is Spence. There's no employee named Lowe in our company. What are you talking about? Was that old man that much of a presence? I can't believe you remember his name. I don't understand what you're talking about. Mr. Adams, I've been trying to tell you. You're mistaken about something. I only went to your company this time for a business meeting. Why should I be told that much? You seem to be looking down on me. Your presence is annoying and has no use other than to look down on. If you want to be like me, why don't you start over from high school or something? Then you might be able to get a better job. Maybe then you'll have some hope for the future. With all due respect, I was already working for this company when I was your age. I'm a mid-career hire and I've been in this position for 10 years. I also hold a higher position than you think. I'm not in a lower position than you. Huh? Even if you've worked for such a weak company for a long time. Even if you bragged about holding a higher position. So what? You say you're a business partner who's here for a business meeting and you make it sound like a big deal. You just came to our company to beg for a share of the profits. Mr. Adams, you were not at the business meeting, were you? I have no idea why you'd say that. You should stop this. There seems to be a lot of misunderstanding going on. Don't talk to me like you're here for a business meeting or something. You're a subcontractor. I am not your subcontractor. Are you listening to me? I think you're mistaken. Why don't you calm down? The contract is as I just sent you. I heard that the person in charge there, Miss Triss, had to leave early today because she's feeling unwell. I left it on your desk as you're her assistant. Please check. Oh, I burned that one earlier. What? Burned it? What do you mean? I saw you put something on my desk. At a glance, I knew it was a contract. Looks like you need my signature. You act like a big man, so I burned it. Why would I sign a contract with a bottom feeder like you? That's a joke, right? First of all, you're a bottom feeder and a crappy subcontractor. You were talking to my girl, Emily. Yes. What does it matter now? You were flirting with my girl. That's unacceptable. You're annoying. Right after that, I saw that contract and I got mad. You're a nobody. Who do you think you are? I burned that piece of paper because I would never sign a contract with someone like you. That was a $4 million contract. Huh? I'm hoping that's a joke. Did you really burn it? That contract was the result of many discussions between our company and yours, you know. What are you talking about, $4 million? I don't see how you can get a deal that big. Who would pay such a large sum of money for your company? You're just a weak subcontractor. Can't you just stop it? I'm from East Company, you know. Huh? I know it's rude to put it this way, but do you realize that you're the subcontractors? Huh? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Who's East Company? Huh? That isn't our prime contractor's client, is it? I've said so many times. I don't know what company you've mistaken for ours. The Mr. Lowe you're referring to? I think he and I are completely different people. Because our names were similar, did you make the mistake of thinking we were from the same company? I didn't know employees with no common sense like you existed. Please, wait a minute. Mr. Lowe, are you from East Company? How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Loth. I am so sorry. Please, forgive my rude behavior. I was completely mistaken. I never had the slightest intention of picking a fight with your company. Even if it's another company, I'd suggest you don't pick a fight with them. It was a contract with your company. I'm really sorry. I accidentally discarded it by mistake. I just heard about it. I hoped it was a lie, but I'm disappointed. So you really burned it? I'm very sorry. My mistake. I'll be careful in the future so this does not happen again. There is no future. Huh? So that contract. Could you please bring it again? The person in charge will be able to come to work tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be feeling better by tomorrow. No, I've had enough. What do you mean? The contract is gone and I'm leaving. There was never any talk of this contract. Huh? Now, excuse me. Wait a minute. What do you mean the contract never happened? That's a joke, right? I don't joke about these things, unlike you. That was the original contract. We don't have a copy. I doubt we will ever approach your company again about a contract. I'm sorry, but give up. You want me to give up? Wait a minute. That was a $4 million deal, right? Your company and our company have been working together on this project. Didn't this contract take a while to finalize? And you're going to terminate it? That would be a big problem between our company and yours. It will. Then let's not make such a big issue. Let's work together to figure out how to solve this problem. No, thank you. Yes? From what standpoint are you speaking? Everything you say is offensive. No, I'm really sorry about that. We agreed to the contract and brought it to you today. All I had to do was for you to sign the contract for me and take it back to the office. Your company should have been able to sign a $4 million contract. But look what you've done. Not only are you making your own self-serving misguided judgments and being disrespectful to me, but also you burned a $4 million contract because you feel like it. Don't you think that's beyond any level of common sense? You're absolutely right. I have no words to reply with. I'm so sorry. I'm committed to ensuring that this never happens again. No, thank you. Your president will be very angry. Please, let's not get the president involved. Please come back. You can't ask me to do that. Mr. Adams, it's too late now. It's against the law to dispose of contracts without permission. Just because you're young doesn't mean you're allowed to do it. Do you understand? I understand, but I'm still in my 20s. I have a future. Please, forgive me. From now on, I won't let this happen again. How many times do I have to tell you? The contract is canceled. There are a number of other companies that want to sign a contract with us. Well, then we'll sign a contract with another company. Excuse me. Please don't say that. Please, wait. I'm truly sorry that I did this. It would be a huge loss for our company. If this gets out to the company, I could be fired. You should think about my life. I'm sorry if I'm being rude, but I think it's well within their boundaries to fire you. Huh? You've lost the company a $4 million contract. I think it's a fair punishment for you to get fired. It's been a year since I started this job. I'm about to get promoted. I see. Well, that's too bad. Your future is none of my business. The contract is canceled, and I'm sure you'll be fired. But it was a good learning experience, wasn't it? A little more business etiquette. Learn from your mistakes, please. As a result, Mr. Loth went straight back to his office, creating a huge problem within Mr. Adams' company. Mr. Adams was held responsible for burning a $4 million contract. Not only was he fired on the spot, but he also had to pay compensation. He seems to have gotten carried away and ended up regretting it. As a matter of fact, it turns out that the receptionist, Miss Emily Johnson, was a cousin of Mr. Loth. Of course, a troublesome guy like Mr. Adams was not of interest to her, and she rejected him immediately.